What is the best advice that you could give to a young person? I see a lot of young people asking for advice, which is awesome. I have people write to me for advice, and I'm in various success groups and stuff, so I see people asking. And if you're young and you're asking what's the best advice, what should I do? That's awesome. Welcome and fam, much love, Trav here. I'm still relatively young, 28, but what I'm talking about when I say young is like high school, college, or early 20s. I mean, we're all young and we can all use this advice, but there's different stages of your life where it makes sense to do different things. And I'm going to start off by giving you an example of probably the worst advice that you could get as a young person, which is also the opposite of that is going to be the best advice. So sometimes you need to look at what not to do to figure out what to do. So the worst advice I can give you, say you're 18 or you're 22, is whatever the first job that you get, stick with that job forever. The first person that you met, the first girl or the first guy that you meet, marry that person forever. Now, you go back 50 years and actually that kind of worked decently for a marriage, but especially when it comes to job, you probably don't want to keep the exact same job for the rest of your life, right? And there's a good chance that you don't want to keep the first person that you date for the rest of your life as the person that you partner up with, marry, and have kids. Why is that? Well, if you have more experience, you know what suits you, you know what you suit, you know what works well with you, you know what you work well with. So I would say the flip of that, the best advice, you give a lot of advice to young people, but to me, the best advice by far is try a lot of different things than when you're young, experiment a lot. If you're having jobs, try to have a different job every summer, a variety of jobs in different markets, different things. Try being a server. Maybe you like working with people. Try being a coach. Maybe you want to work in athletics. Try internet marketing. Maybe you like that. Try being, working with animals. Maybe you like that. Try, because you don't necessarily, people are like, what should I do with my life? Well, what have you tried that you like? And young people are like, well, I don't know. I haven't tried that many things. Try more things, right? If you want to figure out exactly what you're doing with your life, you might not know till you try it. I mean, example for me is, I did try a lot of things. I had a job. I worked as a coach. I worked as a server. I worked at Taco Bus. I worked in food prep. I worked in the game industry, Magic the Gathering. I did blogging. I did videos, writing, YouTube, nonprofit philanthropy, marketing, organized races, event staffing, like faux security. I did a lot of different things. But it was actually farming, organic farming, that about 3 years ago I finally tried. I didn't try it till I was 25. That I was like, you know what? This is really what I want to be doing. So I wish I had tried even more things. I would say to myself, go back, try even more things. So when you're young, you want to be trying lots of things so that you can figure out exactly what it is that you want to do with the experience. Because how would you know, like, oh, I want to do organic farming? How do you know that if you don't even know that it exists? Like, I didn't even know that existed, really. I mean, I kind of did. I didn't really know people were doing it, right? So I didn't know what it was like, right? So you want to try lots of things so that later on you can do the thing that suits you for the rest of your life. And the worst mistake you can make is you're doing something for 20, 24 years, 25, 30 years that you don't like that much because you committed to something before you tried enough things, right? So, your life should be good. It doesn't mean that you have to, like, your dream has to come true. You have to be a pro athlete or anything like that. There's not, you may have to sacrifice money. You may have to pick to do that with your free time, with your hobby, or pick something lesser, but like, you should enjoy your life. And to enjoy your life, you should enjoy your work. To enjoy your work, you should have a work that you like. To like your work, you should try multiple things so you can pick something that you enjoy the most. Does that make sense? And I would argue the same thing being true of relationships, because like, you just don't know without more experience who you're really going to click with, or what matters most, the values, or who's going to help you, who's going to distract you, who's going to improve your life, who's going to hurt it, until you're able to dabble a little bit and try a few different, be with a few different people. So that would be my biggest advice. for a young person, because like once you're a little bit older, say you're turning 30, you can try new things and you should be experimenting, but there does come a point where you have to commit. In order to really have a good family that you raise the kids with a partner, you have to commit to someone, right? In order to be really a master and go extremely deep in your profession, your career, you have to commit to something. So once you're a little bit older, I say my advice would change. I would say make a commitment to what you're doing and see it through to the end, and you can have a second career, or you can have a second marriage later on if necessary, once after like your retirement, whatever. But that would be like advice for older people. I'm not there, so I'm not necessarily going to give that advice, but once you're older, you do have to commit to something, but before you commit to something, you want to try lots of things. So how do you actually go about trying lots of things is a question. Well, hopefully you don't need to necessarily be introverted or extroverted, but it helps if you see the payoff of novelty and you have broad interests and you try lots of things, you apply to different things, you show up to different things, you say yes to different things, you go to different events, go to different groups, and talk to various people, because a bad spot would be like you're in your 30s and you hate the person that you're with, or you haven't been with anyone. You hate the job that you have, and it's the only one you've had for 12 years, So experiment. That's my number one advice, is try lots of things. Do a lot of different things. So hope you find that useful. If you're looking for more advice, I wrote a whole book on it. It's called I Wish I Had Told Me Sooner, Lessons for Young People. There's a link to that at the top of the description. So check that out, and much love, fam. Appreciate you. Thank you. And talk to you soon. Have a good one. Look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Yeah, okay, comments, please share. You don't have to share, but if you're older, what the best advice would be for you. So I'll look forward to hearing that, and talk to you soon.